I guess it's time. What's goody? What's goody? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for stopping by as always. This is another episode of Anime Blitz, episode 3. I'm back with my good friend Ron. We talk about anime. It's a traveling anime channel part for Anime Blitz. With anime, you have to have a list of how you rank your animes. So we decided to come out with a good list of like 12 animes that we've watched either together or separately, and we want to rank them from S to trash. And
Basura.
Anime Blitzo in effect. So in the comment section, definitely let us know how you liked our ranking. If you've seen your favorite anime discussed, and if you disagree or whatever you choose, let us know in the comments. And if any animes you'd like us to review in the future, maybe we've watched it or maybe we haven't. So let us know. We're gonna start off fresh. What do you think? Anything before we start?
Nah, man, I think we should just get right into it.
All right.
Wait no more.
We got a marker and pad right here. We'll definitely show you what we think of each anime.
The blue mark is the best.
I got myself a black one. So what do you think? What's the first one would be what we talked about in the first two videos? Dragon Ball Super. Overall ranking of Dragon Ball Super.
I'm interested to see what yours is. You know what my thoughts are on.
I love Dragon Ball, but let me see.
Let's see what you thought about Super.
Don't die on me now, marker.
Are we doing pluses and minuses, or are we just?
Yeah, I guess we
just
can
straight
find.
rank.
Yeah. So, you wanna go first or me? I know what you're gonna do. So, I'll go first then, so you can bring it. I'll give it a B for Dragon Ball Super. It wasn't an A or S rank because the reason why is because the story wasn't great. I've always loved the action, and I always loved the characters: Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Piccolo, everybody. And I like the new characters: Jiren, Hit. Got to learn about the angels and the God of Destruction. So, as an overall anime, getting to know the new characters and some of the cool arcs, Goku Black, I'll say it brought it up to a B. But the story is the reason why, overall story and like the reason they rushed it and seemed like it weren't ready all the time and some of the animation was off. I blowed it down to a B. Didn't make it an A or S rank as like Dragon Ball Z would. So I'll say that's for that. What about you?
I definitely think Z is S, just because like that's what we grew up with. Like that's what put people on. At least I know that's what put me on and the majority of my friends. But Super, I'm not gonna lie, was highly disappointing. So I gotta give it a C plus. And the main reason, one you hit on, was just the story. In my opinion, like sort of just fell flat on its face. Like, and yeah, Dragon Ball in general has never been like one for the story. It's been more about the action. But even with the action in this series, the fight scenes sometimes were poorly animated. During the fight scenes, like you just have them doing the same move over and over. Like I could just like one moment that sticks out is when I think Goku's fighting Kefla. Like he does a 1-2 punch, turns around, spins with a backhand punch, and it keeps looping. And so it's just like, all right, he's showing us the same thing over and over. And then my main, like the biggest hit that I got on Super, and I've been talking to you and BJ about this, is the power scaling.
Oh yeah.
Like it was just weird when Trunks is damn near as strong as a god of destruction, or should I say, a Super Saiyan Blue, so Super Saiyan God, without like going through any of that training. It's just rage. But I ain't even gonna talk about that. And then the fact that like Goku goes blue against Krillin, and I understand Goku's holding back, but if he were to flick Krillin as a god, Krillin's a human. I don't care if he's the strongest human, even though I think Master Roshi's the strongest human, arguably. Like if he flicked him, he would like die. It's just the power scaling is like way
I
off.
still
We
didn't
could go
understand.
so deep into that, but
I still understand how he did Kamehameha and Goku and Krillin was able to hold it for a little
right,
while.
like that's what I'm saying. Like there's absolutely no way. Like there's just no way. So we could have a whole episode on power scaling.
Oh yeah.
From Dragon Ball. There's so many topics from Dragon Ball you could just make like a whole like episode from. So I ain't gonna dive too deep. C plus. Still love Dragon Ball. Still love certain moments from Super, but just as a whole, it just fell a little flat for me.
All right. So moving on. Our next one is a fan favorite, My Hero Academia. Academia. What do you want to do, My Hero? I'll say
Seasons 1 and 2?
yeah, as a total so far.
Okay, as a total.
So this is My Hero from season 1 to 3 so far. They're currently 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So with My Hero Academia, I'll go first. I'll say it's an A as a total. All right. So we agree. We agree. You want to say why you're using this as an A?
Yeah, I'll go first this time.
Go ahead.
Like, I would definitely say that My Hero is becoming one of the more elite Shonen Jump animes. Episode in, episode out, like it leaves you wanting more. Like you want to catch like the next episode. You want to see like what's gonna happen. And we don't want to do too many spoilers, but like this latest episode, Mario, like it's just the villains are captivating. The story's good with Deku not having a quirk or potentially of having his quirk stripped like when he was a kid, to just the origin story of All Might. Like there's just to me, like top to bottom, it's a solid anime.
Yeah, so definitely a great anime, and I can definitely see why a lot of people have jumped on the bandwagon, why they love it so much. I'm not gonna put it all the way up to S rank yet, because since it's still kind of like a new anime and it needs more years under development and showing us more, but it's definitely on a good pace to reach that S rank special class. I definitely love the characters. I love All Might. He's probably my favorite character in the show, and he's kind of like a traditional hero, reminds me of like a Superman. And I'm like a DC fan, so I love Superman, I love the Flash. So All Might he's kind of like a Superman. I know it's kind of like a Superman of like My Hero. Everyone looks up to him, and I like the fact that they were able to be creative with the villains and like what they're up to. So they're not like just one-dimensional characters. You kind of see what they're behind. There's also one villain that has like his own motive, to like take care of to kill all the some of the heroes because he doesn't think they're really being heroes. So he was like,
I would say he's more of an anti-hero than a villain.
Well, yeah, I guess you can say that
because like the League of Villains
is
they're villains, and then like the
Stan, right?
Yeah,
Stan, he's kind of like an anti-hero, or because he didn't really in the show he was really wanted to see what the heroes were about.
Exactly, and then after that, like, because he spared Deku because he's like, this is what a hero should be
about. Yeah. So definitely with the heroes, that the way they're created with the quirks, the different powers they have is very creative from the creator.
They have interesting villains.
Yeah, interesting villains. Most Shonen Jump series, the villains are like either one dimensional, they only want one thing, and they like kind of like cut and paste. But with My Hero, you can definitely see that they put a lot of work in the villains. And the heroes, so they all kind of have all kind of powers and mentalities. It's an awesome show. Definitely see how people love it, and we'll see how it goes in the future. So
United States of Smash.
Yeah, United States of Smash was an awesome episode. Awesome move. Next anime we're gonna discuss is the one that everyone's hyping about.
Kimetsu no Yaiba.
Demon Slayer, and the rest of it. What you said.
This man's trash with
the names, yeah. Demon Slayer. That's a good one though. Let me see.
If you give this an S, I'm gonna be done.
All right, I'll give it an A.
A plus.
A plus.
A plus, man. Are you kidding me?
No, I understand.
Like this is like if it wasn't so new, that's S rank, man.
It has to show me a little more, but it's definitely good. Is it higher than My Hero to you?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like just because of for me, I'll just start just because of the animation.
Mm-hmm.
Like the animation of that, like it's different from anything like we've seen. Like there are similar animes. Like I don't know if you watch like it's from I think it's from the same studio, but Ajin Devon Human like that one's just a little bit more grainy, but it's like that same style. But like this is the most beautifully drawn anime that I've seen. The origin story of like was it demons like that well the one demon that could take over like your body or he could turn you into a demon.
Gotcha.
Is like what I was trying to say. Like it's just in what happened to Nezuko, going through the exam. Like it is like your classic shonen, but it's just the way that they did it. Like it's classic, and then the finishing moves, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and it's only gonna get better.
Oh
like
yeah.
This one I could say is only gonna get better. There's one I don't even think I put it on this list. Black Clover that I'm still a little skeptical on. We didn't put it on this list. We could talk about that one another time. But it's just I don't know. This one does it for me.
No, I got you, and I gave it an A. I definitely put it on par with My Hero. Probably like right now, probably like yeah, I'll keep it on par with My Hero because My Hero's been out for a couple years, so I'll still keep it at an A. And but definitely Demon Slayer has reached that rank for me, and right now it's currently like the #1 selling manga right now, and I don't know if in Japan, so it's definitely up there. So definitely like you were saying, like the art style, the way they created the show, the characters are memorable. Love the special moves they do, and it's like it's demons, but not like the traditional class of demons. It's kind of like they're vampire demons.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, so they need blood to survive, and Nezuko is the girl, right? She's able to like not do it by sleeping. She gained her strength back, and so they're basically like trying to go on a mission to like reverse the demon pretty much trait in them to like go back to being humans. And it's a great show, and action is ridiculous in the show. And what else? What was
and what I love about these last two, because the next one we're gonna get into is just ridiculous, and you'll see what I'm saying like when we get to it, is the power scaling. Like it's not non-existent, but it's just like it's a natural progression and it flows.
Yeah.
Like where Deku started, like going back to My Hero, into where Deku finished, like or isn't finished, like where he's currently at, and like how quirks can evolve, and just like if they were to face certain villains at like certain times, like if he had went up against All For One,
yeah, he would have been done. Yeah, he would have been done. But yeah, so that's where All Might had to fight him.
Exactly.
Because even like Deku right now, he only has about like maybe tapped into like maybe 10% of it.
Yeah, full counting.
Yeah, so he's not even fully like on All Might's level yet, and he'll be stronger than All Might at the end of the day because they all accumulate quirks, and each person gets stronger and stronger. So whoever has like one for all. So
same thing with Demon Slayer. Like if you look at them, if they were to face the 12 top demons.
Oh, then yeah. So
yeah,
they want to be ready for that.
No, like they stood no chance when they thought they were even fighting one.
Yeah.
Like the dad, and then it turned out to be the kid. Like when they were fighting the Spider Clan.
Oh yeah, so
you know what I'm saying? Like they stood no chance.
No.
Like it's just it makes sense instead of them being able to tap into this unreal power that makes them surpass everything. Like it should be a gradual progression, and Super, you're killing me.
I know Super's. I mean, the power scale is broken, but
so broken.
With Demon Slayer, My Hero, you can definitely there is a power scale, but you can definitely it's more realistic, and that's why they have higher grades. But yeah, that's what we can say for those shows for now, and they can continue getting better. Next on our list is
One
Punch Man.
I'm curious to see what you do with this one, just because of the type of show it is.
All right. Let's see. For One Punch Man, interesting. All right. So One Punch Man, I'm gonna give it a B plus. B plus.
This is getting sick.
I'll start this one. It's kind of like if at first I'm watching kind of like a spoof anime, kind of like making fun of the other animes, and you get to know One Punch Man, and he's just kind of like a simple dude, but he just beats everybody with one punch. And the first season was awesome. Get to know him, get to know the characters around him, his pupil, get to kind of know some of the heroes in the classes, and like just him just kind of annihilating everybody, and until the end when he had to fight someone that took a couple punches, but overall he was just OP, and he gets OP One Punch Man, OP.
Right.
So that's pretty much basically that's the name of the game for him. But what I loved about season 2 is that they kind of opened it more, and they got to show you more of the villains, and they also have kind of like a hero killer in One Punch Man themselves, and his morals and what he thinks about the heroes, and it's awesome. That's why I like that they didn't do the same thing over again, which kind of made it boring. But it's funny watching One Punch Man how he reacts to things, and he's good at everything but video games.
Right.
That's the only time he loses.
And it's bad funny because he loses to King, and King is the worst. It's supposed to be the number one hero when he's actually trash. Like it's just
so it's very opposite. So, but I loved how in season 2 they were able to open the world more. Got to see like more of the villains and what they're up to, and it kind of gives you a little similarities to My Hero with the heroes and villains and the classes and everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so definitely those two shows they're kind of similar, but they also different that make them separate from each other. But going back to One Punch Man, I was able to enjoy the first season. I really liked the second season. I know a lot of people were complaining about the animation because they changed studios, but the animation for the most part was okay. Season 1 was like S class. Season 2 was kind of like an A+ to me, and definitely love the show, and I want to see how it goes. What do you think about One Punch?
The reason I like One Punch Man is because it literally has one job to do, and it does it exceptionally well. So it's like if you look at the other animes that we've gone over before, like they're multifaceted, and you're looking for a backstory, you're looking for power scaling, you're looking for great action. Like this, it's just all about the action and making you laugh. Like like it does go into backstories, but it doesn't try to do too much where it tries to go in like deep. And then on this one, the power scale is supposed to be broken. It's not like it's not like they're trying to hide it. Like that's part of like the flair of the show is like it's just supposed to be crazy action, but then like the thing is they try to make it funny. Like it's an anime that doesn't take itself too serious, and like like that's what they do best. Like he continually goes up to the hero killer, and like the dude has no idea who he is. He has no idea who he is, and it's just like boom. Yep. It was like he just laid out every single time. Like
doesn't even know who did it.
Right. Like it's just like what the hell just happened. It's like it does those things works. Like extremely well, and like that's why it works. Like
that was One Punch Man. It just works the way they did it. It works, and it's definitely different from any other anime.
It's simple to the point,
and
concise.
Gets it done. Mm-hmm. All right, so what's next on the list? This is
one you haven't. You started watching it, but you haven't.
This one
have you seen the thing yet?
Not yet.
I can't spoil it.
There's so many. No, you don't have to spoil it for me, but definitely let the audience know what's the next one about, and I'll definitely catch up. This is his favorite anime.
This is my number one anime of all time. I'm still heated. You still haven't got to the thing.
I'll get there.
I can't spoil too many things, but like for me, like oh man,
I already know what you're going.
Big old S. That's backwards. I don't know how the hell you draw an S the other way so the camera gets it right.
Yeah.
But that, oh man, haiku volleyball anime. My boy Marcus was just like, dude, you gotta watch this anime about volleyball. I'm like, I'm not watching anime about volleyball. I don't even like volleyball that much. Never played. I was always a football player, like track athlete, baseball, like whatever. I'm like, who the hell gives a damn about volleyball? You watch this, I want to play volleyball. It's just like the story. I don't even normally like training arcs. This made me enjoy like a training arc. Like this is just top to bottom. Like this show makes you feel as if you're in the game. I don't want to give up anything about the main characters because my guy Mike hasn't dived in yet. But
what I've seen so far, I mean, I've seen like the first maybe 5 or 6 episodes, which is nothing really. But I enjoyed the characters and how he's trying to be like the best volleyball player, and how he has his rival, and then like in what I've seen so far, his rival he wanted to be his rival, but then his rival becomes on his team. And how do you deal how do you deal with that when you want to beat somebody but then they're on your own team? And now he's just like, now you got to work together. And it's like what's special about haiku, what I've seen so far, and like you definitely know there'll be more like challenges and bigger threats for their championships and stuff. So I'm definitely gonna get back into it. I just put it on pause. I was watching a whole bunch of different anime, but I'll get back.
I'm in the middle of a bunch right now.
I know.
What are you watching right now?
Oh, right now I'm finishing up. Let me see, what was I doing? We'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that at the end. What we're watching currently and what we're trying to finish. So we'll try to get through this list for you. Let me see. Next one. This is one you haven't finished yet. But
I haven't even started, brother.
I haven't started? Okay.
To be honest with you. So,
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. So, I'm going to go ahead and let me see what I'm going to give it. This is a great one.
Really?
Yeah.
High praise.
This is an S rank anime, and the reason it's an S rank anime is not that many episodes. It's about 60 something episodes, and with animes you have like short ones that's like 12 episodes, 24, whatever. But this was like a 60 something episode show with like was based on one arc. And it was based on one arc, basically of the Elric brothers. They messed up when they were young, lost body parts, lost their mother, and they were trying to like pretty much get the Philosopher's Stone to undo everything. The youngest brother's in a metal suit, and he only has his soul in the suit, and his brother was able to put him in the suit, and they're going on a pretty much adventure trying to find the Philosopher's Stone. It gets a lot deeper with the army stuff they're into and everything. They got like the bad guys. It's kind of like it's like greed. What do you call it? It's like the sins, kind of like.
Right. That's one we didn't even put on the list.
Oh,
bro.
the 7 deadly sins.
7 deadly. Wow.
But in general speaking, since my good friend Ron hasn't watched, I won't spoil too much. Like he wasn't a haiku, but overall, I think it's an S show because it was able to keep everything concise. Sometimes animes which are long, they kind of give you a lot of filler, aka Naruto. Which is still an awesome Bleach.
We'll get to it.
Which is also a great animes, but they Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. The Brotherhood one kept a lot towards the manga, so if you're reading the manga, you can definitely see where it got the episodes that pretty much go hand in hand for the most part, and it's a very concise story. They keep it contained and awesome action and awesome adventure story. Everything from Full Metal. I won't go too much spoiler, but it's an S rank for me. Definitely watch it if you guys haven't watched it, and we'll move on from there. The next one we both watched, and we watched it last year, and it was crazy. This one is Akame Got Killed. Akame Got Killed, and
this.
All right, let me see what I would give Akame. Yeah, I think this is good for Akame. For Akame, I'm gonna give it a B, and the reason I give it a B, you give it an A?
I'm gonna give it an A, but you go.
All right. I'll give Akame a B. I mean, then it kind of goes into spoilers. I don't want to say like the craziness of like Akame. Akame as an overall anime, I never watched that kind of anime before, where it was just like you don't know who's gonna survive.
like that was the thing. Like right off from jump, like put it this way. Any character, don't hold on to any character daily because they're gonna die.
Even like in the very first episode where he's trying to find his friends. And
right, like that was so cold. Like
oh my goodness.
I've never seen an anime where like what this one does well. You think you would expect all your favorite characters to die, but you don't because you're just like, oh, they're bad, and then all of a sudden like. Vegeta, it's like they're done. Like
crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man. Like you said, like we don't want to give like any spoilers, but it's just like the last one that got me. Like
Yeah, that was.
I literally forgot about the name of the show, so I thought he was the main character.
Yeah.
The whole time, and then.
Yeah, it's a crazy anime from start to finish. Definitely is like about 24 to 26 episodes.
It's a short one.
Very short. You can definitely finish it in within a few days if you binge it. Or take your time, whatever. It's definitely a show worth watching. A lot of action, a lot of characters, and even in Akame, the so-called like villains or who they're up against, you get to see their backstories and what they're doing, what their motives are.
Yeah,
and sometimes it kind of like
they conflict. Like you're just like, I could see why they're doing this. I could see why the Night Raid is doing this, and it gives the show like personality. Like rather than it just being like good versus bad. Like it's more of a moral battle, moral dilemma between the two, rather than just your classic. I'm gonna destroy the earth. Let's stop them from destroying the earth. Like this is more of a faulty class system. It's a good one.
Yeah, pretty much. There's no real like right or wrong answer with the sides you choose, because it's like the raid is like an assassination group, and like Akame is the main character pretty much.
Yeah, she's the head assassin.
Head assassin with she's like probably one of the best assassins in the group. Probably the best one.
She is the best assassin.
Yeah, and then she's like an assassin group, and you have like the government pretty much, and like those characters who you follow in the general, and they have awesome powers. You get to see they have like some kind of awakening power that they do, that they all can do some cool things when they awaken like their powers.
Yeah, they gotta find each person from the Night Raid has found I can't remember what the hell the name of the pieces are, but if they find a piece. Like Bros was the mech suit.
Yeah.
The girl with the pink hair, she had the gun.
Yep.
Like then there's the scissors. Like each one had to have found that piece.
Yep.
And it had to fit their personality.
And then they're able to like do some extra stuff with their powers. So definitely a cool show. Like Ron said, definitely don't hold on to any character because you never know who's gonna go. Kind of like a Game of Thrones of anime, So so definitely watch that. So I give it, I'll say it'll B plus.
I like it because the story was good, and then the action to me was great, and then there was just enough character depth for such a short anime. Like there was very very good like character depth, like especially like with like Death and a couple other people like in the show like.
And what you could have done, they could have definitely stretched the anime out to like 200-300 episodes because they had so much content that they could have done with it. And but they ended up they ended up shortening it. It's a little different in the manga the way it ends because there are some key characters who survive that's not in that didn't.
I think they did it right in the anime.
I think that the way they do it, the way they were going about it in anime, I guess it fit the narrative to do it the way they did it. But the manga at the end is a little different. But definitely a good watch. What else we're gonna move on to? That was a Kame ga Kill. Next one is a new one, and definitely excited to talk about this one.
Just finished the last episode of season 1 yesterday.
Okay. And this one is Dr. Stone, and I'm gonna go off all that already. What the heck? My thing is not working completely right.
Because you're not covering
it. All right. Dr. Stone.
Wait, don't tell me I'm not looking up.
All right. What do you think?
Dr. Stone.
Well, you guys know what I'm giving it. I give Dr. Stone an A. I love Dr. Stone. It's something completely different, and I love the science behind it. And growing up, I was kind of like a science person in a way. I didn't do experience like that, but I always had a fascination with like space and everything, which is not about what this anime is about, but I love the scientific stuff. And this Dr. Stone actually gives you like real scientific information.
Like all of it is actually scientifically backed. Yeah,
so if you actually try what he's doing and the main character what he's doing in the show, it will work.
I wouldn't recommend it.
No, there are some crazy stuff he tries because he's so smart. But the show premise is about one day Earth, everyone turns into stone.
Everybody's petrified.
And petrification. And
Medusa.
and then like how many years
It's
go
not
by?
Medusa.
And then like what was it 3,000 years go by, something like that?
It's thousands of years into the future.
Thousands of years into the future, and then
but
like
they go back to the Stone Age.
everything goes back to Stone Age because there's no humans pretty much survived, and everything is back to the Stone Age. A lot of it's vegetation, so Earth is back to pretty much So the main character breaks out of the stone, and he starts realizing to like put things together to break other people out, and it's kind of like you're back to like square one, and
there's no electricity.
There's no automobiles, no nothing.
There's no technology.
No technology.
It literally is back to the Stone Age. But since he's so smart, he's trying to accelerate, obviously, vastly, like how fast, like science and technology, like the progression, where they're actually going to go into war with another group, with one guy that he broke out of stone, who wants to keep it in the Stone Age, and he wants to kill all of the old generation so that we don't have corruption of government, just corruption in general, and he just wants to start completely over, no science, like just living off of the land as like our ancestors, we're living.
It's such a smart anime, and because you would think like the main character, he wants to Senku, right?
Yeah, Senku.
Senku.
Yeah.
So he wants to bring everyone back for the most part, and
I wants to bring everybody back. He even wants to bring like the criminals back because at the end of the day, he feels everybody should have a chance at life again. You know.
So with the guy that he revived, pretty much like the muscle, helped him defeat like some animals.
Tsukasa.
Yeah, so he wants to bring back just the younger generation, like you said. He doesn't want any like corruption, any old people. So he's going around like destroying like the statues of older people, and just wants to bring back all the young people, the strong people, and just go from there. And then you start thinking about it. It's like, well, he has a point where why would you want to bring back corruption and like poverty and all that stuff like that back again? Why not start with like younger people, and then just kind of like flourish with that? But then so it's good when you have like a hero and an anti-hero or a villain that has like their own personal like goals, and you can see the good and bad side of each one. And
so it's a tough dilemma because it's like, now if you kill off all the old statues, like think about it, if that were to happen to us now, like, which is why I can see Senku's point, like nobody would have their parents because you're just going to start completely over.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? What if your parent wasn't like a corrupt government official, which the majority of ours aren't, you know? A lot of ours aren't, you know, generals like in the army, like, you know, it's just, you'd be doing a lot of wrong. And then on the other hand, you'd be bringing back a lot of criminals, a lot of psychopaths, sociopaths, you know, like whatever. But again, it's just like, who says that that's our decision? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody should get to play whatever you believe in.
Yeah. And how do you know that eventually the younger people that you brought back won't turn into like their own versions of like criminals and like corrupted
practically
government?
You're killing off all these people, and now you're going to war anyways.
So
it makes you know better. But the only reason why, like, I love this anime because, like you said, it's so smart. It makes you actually think. Like you said, you're very science minded. Like my degree's in kinesiology. Like I've always been very like scientifically minded. Is that like it just it makes you think scientifically back. The only thing that it misses for me, and just because it's an anime, so like this is just what you try to look for from an anime, is unrealistic.
Like fighting and stuff, like the action. Yeah.
Because it's like in Haiku, there's no like fighting, but it's just like it's nonstop action. Like on the court, there's always a new obstacle. In this, there's always a new obstacle that they have to find. Like, you know, there's certain chemicals that they need to find or create that could potentially kill them. So there's like they have to build suits to, you know, offset that. Like it's just very smart, like how it's made, and like how who the main character is. Like it's just a genius, but it just in terms of action, it falls short for me. But that's just what I look for from an anime. Other people might be looking more for like realism. Like there's another anime I'm thinking about getting into, Food Wars, which is literally like just battles of chefs. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if you're more into like that realism, then this would be the anime for you.
Yeah, definitely give it a go. Dr. Stone. All right, so moving on, we got Fate Zero. Now with Fate Zero, I didn't fully watch all of it. It's a process of like another one I put on pause. But I'm gonna hand that to you, Ron. What do you think Fate Zero deserves?
I mean, you could. How much did you watch?
Uh, Not enough to rank it. I mean, from what I
rank it.
enough to be like I like it, but not enough to give it a proper grade.
Well then, how did you watch Fate Stay Night?
No, I want to watch Fate Zero first. Yeah. So
One, it's a prequel, so you should.
I thought Fate Zero was first.
No.
Fate Stay Night.
Fate Stay Night. Fate Zero is a prequel.
Oh, but you watched Fate Stay Night 1st and then you watch. Oh, okay.
Like that's pretty much that's the order.
Oh, gotcha.
So it's
gotcha.
like I guess
See,
technically,
stuff I'm always learning.
if you wanted to, you could watch. You could watch Fate Zero first. You could watch Fate Zero first. You haven't watched either of them.
No, I haven't watched Fate Stay Night.
Just because they go like it's based off of the same premise, like it's the same thing. Unlike Fate Apocrypha, it's just something completely different. I'm gonna rank these two as a series, and I'm gonna give it good old solid. It's like I haven't watched them in a while, so I want to be fair. I'm gonna give it a solid B plus. The animation, especially for the fight scenes, are unreal. The story about the battle for the Holy Grail, like with the like combined with the backstories of like certain characters and their motives for wanting to get the Holy Grail, like range from being very minuscule and just wanting riches, power, to wanting to completely, in their words, like save the world. It's just it's unreal. And then I'm also like slightly a history buff, so just certain characters that are become the heroes in this anime. It's pretty cool to like see them come back. So if you enjoy history, if you enjoy good fight scenes, if you enjoy like just the beautiful anime, top to bottom, it's very solid.
It's definitely like when you're watching it, it's kind of like on Demon Slayer's level, like
in terms of the
animation,
animation,
especially like the fight scenes and stuff.
I would say Demon Slayer has the edge on it,
yeah.
But that's just because Demon Slayer is just newer.
It's newer, yeah.
So as the years progress, the animation gets better. Unless you look at Super, I just don't think they should have went cartoony. I think I don't know. I might be a little too critical of Super. I just.
Yeah,
it just doesn't do it for me.
Because we have a lot of expectations for Dragon Ball,
right?
For like,
because there are other animations that have far lesser, going for it in terms of like the animation. Like the next one we're gonna get to, like Hunter x Hunter, especially at the beginning. Then they changed studios. Like the animation isn't great, but just the story in general and the characters. Like we'll get to it. But back to Fate. Fate series, very good. Captivating characters, and like I said, like if you're, especially like even if like you're slightly into history, you'll pick up on a lot of the references. So I would recommend watching it.
All right, so I need to eventually finish watching it, and then I'll give it a proper ranking when we do another ranking video. All right, so our next one we're gonna talk about is one of my favorites, Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter. So. Yeah. Backwards S, but it's an S rank show to me. I actually started reading it first in a manga form, and to this day, it's still my favorite manga that I've read and that I'm reading because it's still continuing pretty much. But even though it's a hiatus for years, I guess. But we'll get back into that. But it's definitely a great show. I love the way the main characters are awesome. Gon, Killua, Kurapika, Liaro. So.
How do you say his name?
Leorio.
What, Leorio?
Leorio.
Leorio.
But I took the video stopped for 1 second. But yeah, going back, love the main characters. Love the villains of the show. Hunter does something what is rare in some animes is that it goes really deep in some of the aspects they talk about. The story is very great with the way they was written. Um, Gon, he wants to be a hunter. His father was a hunter. He's trying to find out where his father went. Krapika comes. That's what Krapika. Krapika has a mission he's trying to solve.
What technically is a hunter? Like, you know what I'm saying?
A
Because it's
hunter-
not like hunting animals.
A hunter is pretty much you get. A hunter gives you access to many different things. Once you get the hunter license, you have to get a hunter license. They, it is weird how it's like you're a hunter.
Because technically you get certain jobs from it.
You can get certain jobs.
Become a government assassin. They're like
it's weird to
explain it. Bounty hunter.
I guess because they put a lot of emphasis on becoming a hunter because you have access to so many things. You can get great jobs with it. It's a card you show to different places, and you're able to go to access different areas that normal people can't access. That's restricted. So you go through this crazy training to get the hunter license, and the main character Gon wants to become a hunter, so he can go to the places where his father went, so he can find his father eventually. You got
the Dark Continent.
You got Killua. We came from like the Zodiac family,
Family of assassins.
Family of assassins. They become best friends. We got Krapika, which is like one of their friends, in their inner circle, and Leorio. I suck at just saying that stuff, but definitely a great group of cast, that you follow. And then what's cool about it, they can separate, and you can follow what they're doing, and without having to be like, Gon doesn't have to be everywhere, or Killua doesn't have to be everywhere. You can follow like Kurapika's story, Leorio's story, going back to Gon. So it's not like they always stay in the same place, which is cool. And just the way the story is, the main powers is like Nen, and the Nen is like how they focus their powers, and by using Nen, you can. What's cool about what this does, but what Dragon Ball doesn't, is that Dragon Ball is all over the place after they broke the system of power scaling. So it's kind of like whatever. It's kind of like it's just tossed up in the air. You believe what you want to believe with Dragon Ball. But with Hunter, it's based off your personality, what you've gone through, that your Nen is evolved from. And people, there's like a guy, Hisoka. His main Nen is like it's a bungee gum. He uses gum to like trap you, to do all kind of stuff.
He's a clown, but it's like an actual circus clown.
Yeah, so you can use your Nen is basically whatever you want for it to be, and you can put restrictions on it. You can focus in on different things. You can make contracts with yourself. One of the characters just wants to take out a certain group of people because that group of people killed his clan. So took their eyeballs. So all his focus is on taking that clan out, or the group out that took out his clan. So all his Nen is focused on that. So he doesn't really use his Nen for anything else. He can't. He's basically just has.
That was his contract. If you make a contract for that contract, it makes your Nen stronger.
Yeah, it makes your Nen stronger, and you become a stronger foe to your opponents. So I've definitely been enjoying the show with what I've watched when I watched it, and got to see like what everyone else's Nen was. Got to see all different characters, how they used their Nen, and the story's pretty cool. I also loved one of the arcs was based off like cards, and I was a big Yu-Gi-Oh fan back in the day, so it brought me back to those days as being young, collecting Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And they went to this island where they had to collect cards, and the cards did different things. So Greed Island was the arc, so it was definitely cool. You got the Phantom Troop arc, you got the Chimera Ant arc, which is awesome. Everyone loves the Chimera Ant arc. My personal favorite is the Phantom Troop one because you got to see a group of like assassins pretty much as like the villains, and what their motives were, and like the different like how they were able to like work together. They all have all different kind of personalities. Like you don't know how they work. Some of them might try to backstab each other. You don't know what's going on. And Hunter x Hunter really keeps you on your toes on what's going on. It's not like a Kame where your main characters are gonna die and stuff. You don't know what's gonna happen, but definitely keeps you questioning what's going on in the show, and keeps you wanting more. And what else you want to say about Hunter?
So you covered so many points. I would say the majority of the villains, at least the main villains, they get a backstory, and like every single one of them is interesting. All of the main characters like have their backstories, they have their motives, and then what I like the most about this one is the progression of the show. So what you see like with a lot of shonens is there's some type of exam to join like an association. So like you have the hero exams. You have what is it from Black Clover to become a
Was it what was it for? To become a magician?
no, to become a knight.
Oh, okay.
But there's just always like some type of exam, or there's a lot of times like some type of exam. Like in One Punch Man, you got to go through the exam. In Demon Slayer, you gotta go through an exam to become a Demon Slayer. Like through like a lot of these shonens. And this one like did it so well, like with the Hunter Entrix exam. And then like it just like progresses into like certain things that they need to do in order to progress. After passing that Hunter exam, they didn't realize that they didn't know anything about the thing that Mike's talking about called Nen. So then there's the training arc going through there. Just top to bottom, like this anime was written extremely well. The villains are all like I was saying like with other animes, like they're just all captivating. Like talking about the Phantom Troop, like every single one of them is interesting, and every single one of them has like an interesting power. Like there's no moments where I'm just like I don't want to like watch this portion of it. It's like you just stay stuck on it. Like one of my buddies, Devon, like he's going through it now, and it's like he's a hard person to please. Like he'd rather rewatch shows, which I'm the same type of person.
Like BJ.
I'd rather rewatch an anime than get into a new one, and he's been binging the hell out of this one. That's like when you could get somebody like off of an old habit and get you to watch it. Like that's what makes like a show S rank. I binged this one just because like it just keeps you engaged top to bottom.
So the only thing that sucks about Hunter x Hunter is like hiatus, and the creator is always kind of like getting sick, from what I'm told, and he'll drop maybe in the manga form. He'll drop like 10 or 12 chapters a year, then he'll stop for like another year, and the episodes stopped after a while. I think it's like 138, something like that, episodes. So definitely watch the 2011 version of Hunter x Hunter. It definitely is more concise and doesn't like have fillers or anything like that. So definitely great. Hopefully he'll end up finishing the show. I think he said he wants to, and there'll be more animations on the show to finally finish it. I definitely been loving reading it, and can't wait for him to continue writing. Still to this day is my number one manga to read, even though it's not my number one show, which is coming up next. But yeah, that was Hunter x Hunter.
Catch me on the snore fest.
All right, so this one, Ron hasn't watched yet because he refuses to. I know he will one day, and he'll be like, I can't believe I didn't watch it. And this one is a One Piece, and this is hats from One Piece. Ace was who wore it. Those who love One Piece. And this gets an S plus, and this is a S plus show, S rank show plus for me. And One Piece is pretty much everything anime I can ask for. Dragon Ball used to be my number one anime. I dropped way down for One Piece. It's not trash. Only reason to say is that is because
it's too long. I'm not starting it. I'm not doing it.
It's over 900 episodes. It started back in '99, so and it's been going ever since. So Oda, he's been writing.
Too many episodes.
So the show keeps coming out every episode.
This
so.
is what it gets.
But in all seriousness, One Piece is my favorite show. It gives me everything. Love the characters. It gives you comedy. It gives you action. It gives you the feels. You'll laugh, cry. You tell your friends about it. It's everything.
Keeps telling me about it.
He'll watch it one day, but
I will eventually.
But yeah, it's pretty much Luffy. He's a simple kid. He just wants to be king of the pirates. And he looks up to Goldie Roger. He was the king of the pirates, and Goldie Roger, it tells you in the beginning of the show, he left his treasure in one place, One Piece, and we don't really know what One Piece is. We still haven't figured out yet, but it's a accumulation of everything of what the world is about. And it's not like it sounds simple, like this one kid wants to be a pirate king and find treasure, but it's so much more than that. He has to assemble a crew, which is a great cast of characters, and what Oda, the creator of One Piece, has done is give you full fleshed out their characters, the three-dimensional characters. You get to see like their backstories, where they're coming from. The world is huge. He starts off from one little sea where his house was, his village. He moves on to like the grander ocean. It's kind of like in real life, it moves on to the grander ocean where you get to see more villains. You get to see the corruptness of the world and what's happened. How everyone's always talking about like governments and everything, and there's a big presence of government in this show, which hide things, which wants things people oppressed and everything. And Luffy, just a simple-minded guy, he wants to be the king of pirates, just to be free. He thinks by doing that, being the top pirate, pretty much nobody can tell you what to do. It makes you the most freest person in the world. And to get to that process, you have to get stronger. You have your crew has to be legit, And with One Piece, they go with their power scaling is pretty cool. Is that they eat devil fruits. It's not something they just happen just to eat like that, but there's like special abilities that come into these fruits. Like it could be any fruit, it could be apple, banana, anything. And once you eat it, you don't know what kind of powers you'll get. But the one drawback about having power from the One Piece, like the fruit, devil fruit, is that you can't swim. And these are all pirates. So, so the one drawback is that if they fall in the water, they become like pretty much like anchor. They can't swim. They fall all the way down and they drown, unless someone goes down there and like picks them up, whatever. But
they can't swim, to save you.
But they become so strong is that they can avoid falling in the water. Some of them can fly. It's all kinds of powers.
But they can't swim.
Nope, they can't swim. But it's definitely an awesome story of like friendship, awesome story of adventure, and finding out what's going on in the world, what the government's been hiding, finding out all kinds of things. I can go a whole video just talking about One Piece and why I love this show so much. But definitely because it's over 900 episodes, it's gonna take a while. I definitely binged for like over 2 years trying to catch up. But I finally caught up and it was worth binging. Definitely give it a try. And eventually Ron will.
I will.
It's not trash.
I will.
It's S+ rank.
It's trash. I'm just coming up. Some other stuff, Alright,
so moving on to One Piece. This one I haven't watched. I think I watched the first episode because I haven't gotten into it yet. Wait, Ron has watched it.
Wait, what?
I never watched it.
You never watched Bleach?
Nope. I never watched it.
That's like a sin. That's like an anime sin. Are you kidding me? Hold on. You watch.
You never watched One Piece.
One Piece. Well.
Yeah.
Nah, that's actually, I ain't gonna lie. Bleach is a force too.
So what do you?
But you watch like Super. How are you not? You haven't seen Bleach?
No, I haven't watched Bleach. Like fully, no. I watched like episodes here and there. Like I never watched like a continue like.
All right. Well, let me. God damn it! You don't mind on my finger. Whew.
What would you give Bleach?
That's what we're getting to.
I know this. I don't know. What would you give Bleach?
I just read all over myself. I hope this
trash.
See, it says recap when not in use. This is why yours is all dried out.
Oh, okay. No wonder.
Bleach. One of the Mount Rushmore's of anime, man.
I know it's originally a big three.
I would not give it. I can't give it an S rank, and that's just because, just like Super. So if I were to give early Bleach a rank, I would give it an S rank. If I were to give the last season or the last whatever arc of Bleach a rank, I would honestly
trash.
I threw what I did, throw it away like trash. Like if anybody's watching Bleach, I would say get through the Hueco Mundo arc, like, or the Aranka arc, whatever you want to call it, and just stop there after Ichigo fights Aizen. Pretty much, I'll give you a quick synopsis on Bleach. It's about Soul Reapers. So there's this boy Kurosaki Ichigo. Um, he becomes a Shinigami by this girl Rukia, who's a Shinigami. She gets hurt fighting a oh my goodness, what the hell? What the hell the demons in this called? Oh my god! This demon. I can't like.
What are they called? This happens sometimes. What's the
I'm drawing such a blank.
we're gonna keep it as real as this is real life sometimes. You gotta go back and go into your phone and like
I
look
know
at
what the hell they
go
are.
back. Some of these
Hollows.
Hollows?
Oh my god.
Okay.
They fight hollows. Like it's just basically an unsettled soul. And so they have a Zanpakuto, a sword that has different abilities. So Ichigo's lets out huge beam of light. His Getsuga Tensho. Rukia is an ice type. There's fire types. There's so many, like, I can't even go in depth with it because there's just so many different types of Zanpakutos in their abilities. And then if they go into Shikai, that's where their regular abilities are shown. And then if they go into Bankai, it gets even stronger. There are Quincy's in the show that are a different group. They're not like Shinigamis, where Shinigami is basically sent you to the Soul Society, which is our version of heaven, whereas Quincy's essentially like just once they hit them, they're killed. But pretty much like how it starts, Ichigo basically fights the Soul Society's views because they're morally wrong, and then you see Aizen, who essentially was one of the Shinigami, goes off to Hueco Mundo where all of the Hollows live, and then once you get to the Hollow Land, there's Hollows, Arankars, and then there's the Espada, which are the strongest ones. So it's just, you have the captains versus the Espada, so like the strongest of the strong. In terms of action, this is probably my favorite anime. In terms of filler, this is probably my least favorite. Like that's the thing that like really like puts it down. But if you skip the fillers, which like there's just like a certain part of like a certain arc where it just pretty much replays the same episode over and over. The writers just ran out of like things to think of. Like if you skip those fillers, like this, I would say is truly an S ranked anime up until the Fullbringer arc. Just don't watch the Fullbringer arc. In terms of animation, action, doesn't get too crazy in depth like with character development like Dragon Ball Super, but it's just it brings you what you want to see from an anime. You get to see action, you get to see again another broken power scale, but this one's not nearly as broken as Dragon Ball Super. But just all in all, like great anime, great action, and just the abilities are extremely cool. Like that's what like brings this anime to life. Like, you know, if you like look at like all of the other animes like we've talked about, like in terms of like people having like different and unique abilities, like this one, like in my opinion, is at the top.
All right. Eventually, I'll get to it. Bleach. There's so many.
It's better than One Piece.
No, it's not. So, but I'll definitely get into it. So that was our 12 list of animes that we wanted to rank. Ones that we watched together, that we all watched the same, or ones that we just either watched on myself, like One Piece and Bleach. And
What are
the
we
Fates.
gonna watch next?
We were supposed to watch. Let's do this. What are you currently watching?
What am I currently watching? Currently, I'm watching My Hero Academia, Black Clover. I guess Dr. Stone just ended, but season 2 has been confirmed. But I just finished that. And then Sword Art Online Alicization. Okay. Don't judge because the first half of Sword Art Online, great. Obviously, the second half, trash. Gun Gale Online, season 2 of Sword Art, pretty decent. the Gun Gale special anime that they did was pretty good, and it ties into Alicization. But the second half of Alicization, S rank. First season, B minus. But we'll get to those rankings like another time. But
yeah, we'll definitely do another ranking video with some more more of our friends. I'm mumbling.
Right. What are you watching now?
You know, My Hero. Still watching that. I'm watching Doctor Stone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching Vinland Saga, which is an awesome anime.
I heard that one was good.
I'm not done with it yet, but what I've seen so far is great. You know, I'm slowly watching Haiku.
Yep. And I'm just rewatching Haiku and Tokyo Ghoul. Those are the two that I always like just go back to.
And I'm into I'm just trying to watch Naruto.
That's force.
I started it like 3 years ago to watch it. I watched like 50, 60 episodes of like the original Naruto. Then I left it alone for a while because I do that sometimes, and then I go to a different anime that I find interesting. So I know with Naruto a lot of filler and Shippuden and then Boruto. So I plan on watching all of them.
I'll watch Naruto before I watch One Piece.
Well, I mean, you can, I guess, but but I'll suggest One Piece more. But I know there's definitely a lot of Naruto fans out there. But yes. What else do you want to say? What else about this? This has been fun. You know, it's good.
Real man, we get to talk about like some of our favorite shows. Definitely in the future, we want to expand, get some of our other anime watching friends on here. We gotta get BJ.
Yeah,
no, Denzel doesn't watch too much, but like we just gotta get him on here.
Rob.
Ash. Yeah, because Ash is well versed.
Yeah,
like he'll definitely give a good opinion. And then I think we already said BJ, but BJ, man.
Yeah, he's the one.
Because me and BJ argue, man. We go back and forth.
They'll definitely get to see who all these guys are once we get them all here, and we can definitely have. It's gonna be crazy. But I also like to in the future definitely get some fellow YouTubers. You know, Jules Vids, Nakama, Collectibles. You know, I know they're big anime people too, and some others that love anime. So we can definitely, you know, my good friend Rob Molina. We'll definitely.
His favorite, Hello Kitty.
Hello Kitty, yeah. I don't know what episodes this will be, but this was episode 3 of Anime Blitz. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let us know how we did in the comment section. Also, let us know what's your favorite anime and how you rank them. I also put the list of what the animes we ranked in the comment section. You can also rank yours from what our list was. Thanks again. I always appreciate it. You know, my good friend Ron. You know, it's popping stories. Mike, you guys have a good morning, afternoon, and night. Peace.